I'm honored today to speak in this chamber as a survivor. Folks know back home that I've been doing this work for 30 years, day in and day out, and as a survivor who almost lost my life in my early 20s, I am proud to stand with millions of women and girls who have been victims and who are moving towards survivorship and saying no to this piece of legislation. Mr. Speaker, you see, I come with 30 years of experience. I started my career leading the Young Women's Freedom Center, and I stood shoulder to shoulder with young women and girls who had been trafficked and beaten. I've been in morgues, I've been in the tanks of our county jails on my literal knees, pleading with law enforcement to let young women out who themselves were victims and who were incarcerated wrongly for standing up for themselves while they fought for their lives. I've learned through this work that justice is not a principle, it is our responsibility. Later in my career, I led the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights, started by President Kennedy, which we expanded access and legal representation for migrants and asylum seekers, many of them who came seeking peace and solidarity in search of safety and dignity. Today, as a representative of California's 12th district, I remain committed to advancing real solutions, and making our communities safer. I, too, was a domestic violence advocate for a prosecutor. I know this work. I remain committed to working with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to fix a severely broken immigration system. But moreover, I am here to stand up for victims. I would love another minute.
Lady, another minute.
H.R. 30, and I repeat, does nothing to advance these solutions. Instead, it broadens the definition of domestic violence in ways that punishes survivors, making them admissible and subject to deportation, regardless of their legal status. Colleagues, we must read this bill. Read it. Let me be clear. We know that federal law already allows deportation, demands deportation for individuals convicted of domestic violence. H.R. 30 doesn't strengthen the protection of survivors. It weaponizes them. I know what it means to protect victims, ranking member. It means to fight systemic equities in our current systems that don't work for those victims or survivors. You know, H.R. 30 doesn't do this work. That is why I, too, stand with over 200 organizations, one in which I co-founded, the Sister Warriors Coalition that is 10,000 strong, young women and girls who are surviving rape and domestic violence and trafficking. They, too, say no.